29-465, cut 2.
We're off to the forest to see Miss G. She lives in a house that is mostly green, except for the chimney and windows and walls, and one or two places just down the halls, and it's filled with rabbits and newts and snails, and fat little puppies that wag their tails, and a whale and a tiger and elephants too.
Well, maybe not elephants.
Hi, glad to see you today. Hope and Todd and I are playing with some milkweed seeds. Have you ever done that? It's lots of fun. What can you do with milkweed seeds? Hope?
Blow it.
Blow it. You want to try? You gonna blow them all at once? Do you know any children who say things will happen if you wish on a milkweed?
Yeah.
When? What do you like to pretend they are sometimes? We'll have to find out if he knows something about milkweed, too. Do you have any pets at your house?
Yes.
What?
A cat and a dog.
One cat and one dog. How about you, Todd?
A dog.
A dog. Well, this boy has a very unusual pet. Come in. There he is now. Let's see. Hi, Michael. Glad you could make it. Bring your friend right on over to the discovery table. This is my friend Michael Lukaroff, and his friend who, what's his name?
Grundy.
Grundy, or Mr. Grundy. And Todd, you already know Michael, don't you?
Yes.
Because you go to school together. Hope, can you say hi to Michael?
Hi.
How are you, Mr. Grundy? Well, tell us something about this strange pet.
He's 7.5 months old.
7.5 months old. That means he's still pretty much of a baby, isn't he?
Yeah.
And does he live in your house or out of your house?
Out of it in a big cage.
You fall into a hole, the horse might break a leg, or you might break a leg, or a tractor might break a wheel. So one groundhog is a very nice pet to have. What does it eat? What kinds of things does it eat, Michael?
Lettuce.
Lettuce. And you think he'd eat anything now, or is he too surprised about being at HodgePodge Lodge? What's his favorite thing?
Chunky bar.
Candy? Let's try that. Maybe he'll like that. Do you ever hear of a groundhog that ate candy? Well, this is a very unusual groundhog. Let's take the paper off. Oh boy, Michael's right. He does like chunky bars. Now, if you ever go out for a walk and see a wild groundhog and scare one, you might see him standing right up like that, right outside his hole, and that's how he looks for danger. Have you ever seen one do that? They stand up and they make a funny noise. You know what kind of a noise they can make when they hear something coming?
No, something like a dog noise.
Well, it's sort of like a whistle. When he's mad, he makes a rumbling sort of noise, sort of like a dog growling. But when they are alarmed and they want to tell any other groundhogs to hurry up and get down their holes because there's danger, he makes a whistle, a really high whistle.
In Pennsylvania, me and my brother, sometimes we walk up and there's these lot of holes and there's groundhogs in them.
Right. They like old farms where nobody's plowing up the fields anymore, and they just can make a lot of holes. Sometimes they have 3 or 4 doors to their den. Front door and a back door and a side door. Listen to him crunch on that chunky bar. How'd you find out he liked candy?
I gave him one.
Was there a funny story that happened to at your house about the Halloween candy?
He kept on running up the stairs.
Very tiny ears. And he looks sort of sleepy. What do groundhogs do in the winter if they're not living
They
inside?
hibernate.
They go to sleep for the winter, and that's why they get very, very fat just before then. Gosh, he almost feels stuffed right now. He has gray fur, but he's getting some brown fur. Right down here on his legs, you can see the kind of fur. Oh, sorry. He doesn't like me looking at his legs, but if you can see it. So that woke him up, and he's going to have some more candy.
So groundhogs that have owners, they probably don't hibernate for the winter.
Right, because they bring them in and keep them waked up a little bit. What are you going to do at your house? Are you going to let him sleep all winter, or are you going to bring him in every now and then?
Sleep.
Try to let him sleep. What is these caves like outside?
It's a big one.
With dirt in it?
Yeah.
So he
It's got hay and leaves in
so
it.
he can tunnel under. Have you ever heard a superstition about groundhog? You know, you were saying that you can make wishes on milkweed. That's a superstition, right?
On Groundhog's Day, you say, like, if the groundhog sees a shadow, we'll have 6 more weeks of winter.
Right, and if this were Groundhog's Day, funny noises, and I went and rescued it. And one other time I saw one looking out of a hole and it going up the inside of a hollow tree. So you can see those toenails would be good for climbing a tree, too. How about a bite of candy? I like to see him sit up.
He's got a seal on his belly. He doesn't have many fur.
No, well, he's just a baby. 7.5 months old, did you say?
Yeah.
Just a baby, but look how fat he
It
is.
looks like he only has 2 teeth.
Well, he's probably getting all of his
We
teeth.
bought him a wrist strap, but when he's not fat, he widens, he gets real long. He's real skinny and he gets out of it.
Oh, you have a hard time finding the right harness. I had a skunk like that. I had a hard time finding a harness for it. Kept squeezing out. But isn't that neat, the way he balances himself on his 2 hind feet and his tail, props himself up like a kangaroo. Uh-oh.
Before his toenails were going in tight.
Right. Well, have you had a good time today, Hope and Todd, meeting Michael and Mr. Grundy and the chicken and Topaz? Thank you very much for coming, Michael. And hope you'll bring Mr. Grundy back someday when he gets to be grown up. Come on around here, Mr. Grundy. See, he'll stick his head out and say goodbye. Goodbye, and come back soon again to HodgePodge Lodge.
This program was made possible through funds contributed by members of the Maryland Center for Public Broadcasting.
Pre-recorded in the studios of the Maryland Center for Public Broadcasting.